Welcome to another tutorial on Photoshop CS6. We are going to be doing text effects on this tutorial. So we're going to be using a text tool. First we're going to go up to File, New. We're just going to create a new canvas. I just have it on 6th width and height 4 inches. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and hold Alt and zoom in so we can see this a little bit better. Um, then we want to use the text tool to insert text. So what I'm going to be showing you is how to do 3D text. Okay, so you have learned a little bit about the effects, different effects on text, but I want to show you how to do 3D. And I don't recommend doing 3D on any computer that does not have a very good graphics processor. So if you don't have a good graphics processor, don't try to do 3D. Um, my computer right now that I'm using is not the greatest graphics processor, but it will do it. It's a little slow, but it will do it. Okay, so any computer that doesn't have a very good graphics processor, it will warn you that it's unable to complete the operation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my text tool, select my text tool. I already selected a font, and then my size up here, and you can do it centered if you want it centered, or you can maybe switch the text color. Let's do a nice blue color, maybe. Yeah, or maybe we can do a red. I like that color maybe right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to select a place in here, and I'm going to type Photoshop. Okay, so we're just going to do this. Then I want to select the text. Oops, I just did that wrong. Okay, and like I said, if you don't have a very good graphics processor, you got to be really careful with what you do with 3D. Okay, and you can do 3D objects, but once again, if you don't have good graphics, please do not try that because it could maybe potentially harm your machine. Okay, so what we're going to do is type Photoshop. We're going to select Photoshop, and in CS6, I have this little 3D button up here to make it 3D. So I'm going to press 3D. It may take a little bit, okay, and then it will ask you to switch to the 3D workspace so that you have the 3D tools. I'm going to go ahead and click yes, and it's going to switch my workspace to 3D, as you can see up in our workspace switcher panel here. Okay, now you see quite the different thing. Okay, it comes up with a plane. Okay, you see a grid plane here, showing you kind of how your text is going to look. Okay, and then you have, as you can see, my icon, my mouse pointer icon is a little circle with an arrow showing that you can rotate this however you want. Okay, so basically, I have a 360 view of my text right now. Okay, super cool. You got to have a very good graphics processor to do this. Okay, so I'm going to warn you that if you do not have one, you will be unable to create cool effects like this. Okay, so I can tilt this however I want. I have a 360 view of it. Okay, that looks super cool. But I'm going to go ahead and just put it like kind of like that. Okay, I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. Um, then what we're going to do is you can just leave it like that if you want, but right up here, if you go up to the infinite light here, this is switching your light effects. Okay, so if I click that button, now I still have my circular mouse pointer, but I'm instead of moving the plane where my text is at, I'm moving how the shadow and the light is affected. Okay, so I'm going to move, as you can see, as I circle around, my shadow moves. So I'm going to kind of position my shadow kind of how I like it, and then press the button, that light button again, and that will bring me back to my plane. Okay, so I'm going to put that back to where it was and say OK. Okay, so that is kind of how we do 3D text. Okay, I'm just going to show you the basics here, and that's about all I'm going to show you because I don't want to show you a whole ton and confuse you, and you won't use 3D text a lot because of the graphics processor issue. So that's what I'm going to show you. That's how you create 3D text. Now you can do multiple different things with 3D text, but that's kind of the basics of it. Okay, so we're going to go back into our Essentials panel and go ahead and go back, exit this out. Let's see here, go back, switch to that. Okay, so then if I click on this layer, it's going to bring me back up to my 3D thing so I can move it, and that's going to confuse you a lot. So just stick with your background if you want to have a background. Okay, so that's pretty cool. You can do multiple things. I'm going to go ahead and, okay, the layer's locked, so I got to undo the layer. So for future use, if I need to move it, but I'm going to move. I want to tilt that up a little bit, maybe, and then I'm going to move this up here. I don't want to move it too far. So I'm not, I think that looks good right there. Then I'm going to, okay, that looks pretty good, don't you guys think? I think that looks fine the way it was. Let's Control Z that. Okay, so that's our Photoshop text in 3D. Okay,